Olivia Carson adjusted her crisp blazer as she walked into Wilmington High for her first day as the new English teacher. Ambitious and recently graduated from Columbia, she had big dreams. But this was a small-town school in Kentucky, far from the life she'd envisioned. She nodded politely at a gray-haired janitor mopping the floors in the hallway. He smiled and tipped his cap. "Good morning, miss," he said kindly. Olivia forced a polite smile but kept walking. He was just the janitor, nice enough, but not someone she needed to know. Her focus was on impressing the principal, Mr. Hawthorne, and making a name for herself. She didn't notice the way the janitor looked after her, eyes filled with patience and quiet understanding. What Olivia didn't know was that life here had layers she hadn't begun to peel. 3 weeks into the semester, Olivia's classroom buzzed with energy. She'd finally found a rhythm. Still, she was exhausted. Every morning, a hot cup of coffee appeared on her desk. No note, just perfectly made. She assumed it was from another teacher and never questioned it. One morning, she caught sight of the janitor, James, placing it down. "You?" she asked, surprised. James shrugged. "You looked tired, Miss Carson. Figured a cup might help." Olivia flushed. "You really don't have to." "I know," he said simply, then walked away. That night, she told her colleague, Kendra, about it. Kendra raised an eyebrow. "That's James. He's odd. Real quiet. Some folks say he used to be something big before he ended up here." Olivia scoffed. "He's a janitor." Kendra leaned closer. "Just, don't get too close." One chilly Friday, the classroom heater broke. Olivia stayed late, grading essays in her coat. James appeared with a space heater and a gentle smile. "Didn't want you freezing," he said, plugging it in. As the warm air filled the room, they talked. She learned he had once lived in New York. "Wall Street," he said vaguely. But life happened. She wanted to ask more, but something in his tone stopped her. Instead, she said, "Thank you, James." "Really?" His eyes softened. "You remind me of my daughter. She was a teacher, too." "What happened?" she asked gently. James looked away. "She passed. Years ago." For the first time, Olivia saw the man, not just the mop or uniform, but the grief behind his eyes. The following Monday, Principal Hawthorne called Olivia into his office. "I hear you've been spending time with the janitor," he said, voice clipped. She blinked. "Yes, James has been very kind." "Olivia," he interrupted, "he's not someone you should trust. He's lucky we gave him this job. Just keep your distance, all right?" Olivia left the office uneasy. Something about the principal's tone felt personal. Controlling. Later, in the staff room, she asked Kendra. "Why does Hawthorne hate James?" Kendra hesitated. "There's talk. Years ago, James donated to this school anonymously, after his daughter died. But Hawthorne took credit for a lot. And when James hit hard times, Hawthorne let him scrub floors instead of offering more." Olivia felt a fire rise in her chest. Was James more than he seemed? One of Olivia's best students, Marcus, had stopped showing up to class. She found him sitting alone by the bleachers after school. "My mom got laid off," he whispered. "Can't afford gas to get me here every day." Olivia's heart broke. That night, she stayed late, trying to find resources for Marcus. James noticed. "Something wrong?" She explained, and he simply nodded. The next day, Marcus returned, gas card in hand. "My mom said someone gave this to her." "Anonymous," he said. Olivia knew it was James. She said nothing, but the way she looked at him changed. That week, Olivia was called to the office again. Hawthorne looked furious. "You've been encouraging students to accept handouts. From staff. I haven't. We're professionals, Ms. Carson. We don't blur lines. Later that night, she saw Hawthorne berating James in the hallway. You think money erases the past? Stay in your place, janitor. James said nothing, just kept cleaning. Olivia's fists clenched. She realized Hawthorne feared James, not because of who he was, but because of what he used to be. And he didn't want that truth coming out. The school held a fundraiser gala to support new library equipment. Olivia was asked to host, but Hawthorne warned, no surprises. Just smile. James was not invited. But Olivia saw the budget. Most donations were small, except one, $25,000 from J. Lancaster. Her heart skipped. During the event, she thanked all donors, and paused. There's one person not here tonight. But he gives more than anyone I've known. To this school, and to its people. Thank you, Mr. James Lancaster. The crowd murmured. Hawthorne's face paled. The next morning, James didn't show up. Olivia panicked. She stormed to the principal's office. You fired him, she cried. Hawthorne looked smug. He crossed a line. You mean you did? You took credit for his money, then buried him when he had nothing left. He stood. Watch your tone, Ms. Carson. I'm not afraid of you, she said, and left. She drove to James' small apartment. He answered the door, surprised. I'm sorry, she said. This isn't right. He smiled sadly. Life doesn't always reward truth. But it should, she whispered. Over coffee, James told her the truth. His daughter, Sarah, had been a teacher here. She died in a car crash on her way to school during a snowstorm. James, then a wealthy broker, donated his fortune to rebuild the school wing in her name. But Hawthorne claimed the credit. James lost everything during a market crash, came back to the only place he felt close to Sarah, and took the only job offered, janitor. Tears ran down Olivia's face. You're not just the janitor, she said. You're the heart of this school. The next day, Olivia drafted a letter, then an email. To the school board and local paper. She told the truth about James, about Hawthorne, about everything. Kendra and a few other teachers stood with her. When the article was published, it exploded online. Parents were furious. Former students who remembered Sarah came forward. Anonymous donations started pouring in for James. And finally, the board launched an investigation. 1 week later, Principal Hawthorne was suspended pending a full audit. James was offered his job back, but this time, not as a janitor. We'd like you to head our new mentorship program, the superintendent said. James smiled. Only if Olivia runs it with me. She laughed through tears. Deal. For the first time in years, James felt something he thought he'd lost, purpose. The school held a memorial service for Sarah. Olivia stood on stage beside James. She believed in hope, Olivia said. In every child, in every person. And tonight, we honor that. James stood quietly, tears in his eyes. After the event, Olivia turned to him. You know. I used to think you were just the janitor. He chuckled. And now? Now I think you're the most extraordinary man I've ever met. He smiled. You gave me back my voice, Olivia. Thank you. No, she said softly. Thank you for never giving up. And under the gymnasium lights, everything had changed, forever.